Allah, does he exist or does he not? What about the universe? How was it created? Could it have been by chance? Or was it created by Allah? Allah will punish you for these thoughts.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
What evidence are there of the existence of God?
I want you to imagine with me. You're walking in a desert, an empty one, and suddenly you see a house. At that moment, for a moment, will you imagine that this house created itself, or was it done?
Somebody made it.
Somebody made it. So is that logical, or did you have to think about it? Picture this. You enter your house, nobody is there, and you see your dining table filled with an array of colorful dishes. Did this food cook itself, or did somebody make it? Of course somebody made it.
Of course somebody made it.
Can I ask you for a favor? Adam, look at Anas and tell him, just bear with me and say after me, do you think this house made itself or somebody made it? Tell him.
Do you think this house made itself or somebody made it? Of course somebody made it.
Why is it a different answer when we talk about the universe? So is there any evidence in the existence of Allah? Look around you, look at yourself, look in the mirror. How did all this come to existence? Came by itself? Logically, can something exist without it being made by somebody else? Am I right? Or could there possibly be 1 in a million chance of doubt? That's why the Quran is so beautiful. Have they not looked at the sky above them, how we built it? Are they not paying attention that the sky couldn't have made itself? Have they not then looked at the sky above them, how we built it and adorned it with stars, leaving it flawless? As for the earth, we spread it. Who made this? And so on and so forth. And the verses continue documenting the miracles around us. You walking down the street and you see a car. What's the first thing you notice about it? Mustafa, the car, brand or maker. What is this car? Is this a Mercedes or is this a Toyota? Equally the universe. Who made it? Because through the brand you can tell who made it. It has. So frankly speaking, what are you really asking about? What's the evidence of the existence of a God? Allah? It's an easy question that's not really easy to answer. Let's try this out. Imagine for a moment that you don't exist. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that you don't exist. Okay, can you imagine that you don't exist?
No.
If you can imagine that you don't exist, then that in itself is evidence that you actually exist. Okay, so imagine now that the universe doesn't exist. There's nothing around you, nothing at all. Imagining that the universe doesn't exist is actually proof that it does exist. This is exactly like those people who say God does not exist. Funny thing is that as you're saying that sentence, you as a living, existing, breathing creature is proof in it itself that Allah exists. Is it making sense so far? Logical. It's easy. It's so easy.
I've got a question.
Go ahead. How do we really know that God exists? How do we really know that God exists? That's the same question, same answer. Look around you. Look at anything around you. If he did not exist, then nothing would have existed.
Then who created God?
This is another question. Who created God? It's a wrong question. It's not wrong that you ask the question. The question is not logical. It doesn't make sense. When talking about God, are you talking about a creator or a creation? Creator. Does it make sense that the creator is created? Let me explain this more simply. Imagine you're seeing a Mercedes car. Would you know or imagine that the one who made the Mercedes car looks like a Mercedes? No. Okay. For example, would the creator of the Mercedes need petrol for sustenance? Of course
No.
not. Or when looking at a building, would you imagine that the creator of the building looks like a building? You know, cubic face with windows for eyes. The features of the maker are not similar to the creation. Isn't that right? Okay. So when I say I am a creation and you're a creation, would any of us dare to say that you are the creator? No. So who would tell you that the creator needs to be created? It's a wrong question. Either a creator or a creation, but it doesn't work to be both at the same time. You see what I mean by the question is illogical? It's two states, either creator or creation. They contradict each other. So it's a toss between creator or creation. Then automatically that's a creation. That's right. Okay, let's just assume that somebody created God. Let's assume, for now, that there is a deity that created Allah. Where is he? Why has he not declared his sovereignty? We know that Allah has declared himself as the only deity in existence. Allah himself is a witness that there is no God worthy of worship except him. And people declared that there is no deity except Allah. La ilaha illallah. Did anybody come out and declare their existence as a deity? The only one who came out declaring himself as God is the Egyptian pharaoh who ended up drowning. He drowned. He had to drown because of that sentence. Did anybody else come out declaring themselves as a deity? If he was to exist and not come out declaring that, isn't that a sign of weakness? What am I? Am I going to worship a weak God? And so logically, and by looking into it, he is Allah. Am I clear? And so the creator cannot be a creation. Because if he is a creation, then he can't be the creator. And so he's not God, he's not a deity. Therefore, he is the only deity. He created all of the creations. Note the word creation. And creations cannot be the creator. And the creator can't be a creation. Say, O Prophet, he is Allah, one and indivisible. It will not work having somebody else alongside him. He has never had offspring, nor was he born. It won't work if he is a creation, because the creator is the creator. But if he was born, then that would make him a creation. And there is none comparable to him. It won't work to have more than one deity, and the remaining are all creations. Is it clear? I agree it's slightly challenging to get your head around. It's logical. If you want to address it from a logical point of view, a creator cannot be a creation. Or from another angle, why hasn't this deity declared sovereignty? So you're trying to define somebody who hasn't even tried to defend himself and entertain the idea of another deity? Nobody came out. Did you get the idea? Who wants to ask another question?
Yeah. Before God created the universe, what was God doing?
Allah was by himself. And then he created the universe because one of his names is the creator, Al-Khalid. Okay? But the rules of place and time doesn't apply to God Almighty. So pay attention to this. Who created time and place? So who created time? Who created 24 hours? Who created 365 days? Who made it 12 months? The creator. Isn't that right? So time is created by God. Okay? And the place, who created the earth? Our God. And so time and place were created by God for us to exist within. So it's illogical to apply these rules on God, the creator, because he's the one who created it. Did you get that? Okay. Yeah. Do you agree with me? Is what I said acceptable? Yeah.
I've got a question.